In this video, we are going to practice changing a radical to a fractional exponent. So the one thing to remember is, of course, your terms. So hopefully you remember this is called an index. You've got your radical sign, your radicand, and your power of the radicand. Now, one thing to remember when you are changing to a fractional exponent, you're going to have your base, and then the power of the radicand is going to stay in the numerator. So we'll put that there. And then just think of your index is just coming around, and it's going to go underneath that power. So 4/7. That's it. So you change it from the radical to the fractional exponent. You're going to need that for multiplying, because remember, in order to multiply two radicals, they have to have the same indices. Let me show you an example of that. So we've got index of 4, 81, x to the 4th, y, times, we've got an index of 7, and inside we've got 8, y to the 5th. We can't multiply these. Why? They have different indices. So we're going to need to change them to fractional exponents so that we can get least common denominator, and then we will make these indices match. So let's work it through, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. So first of all, to make it a little bit easier, if we can simplify and pull things out of the radical first, that would help. So what I'm going to do is see if we can do that at all. So remember, the index means any factor multiplied to itself that amount of times, you can take one of those factors out. So for 81, you got 3, 9, 27, 81. So for 81, 3 is being multiplied to itself 4 times. So I can actually take a 3 out of this radicand. You see we've got 4 x's, and I need 4. So I can pull an x out of here, and all I'm left with is y. So let me rewrite this radical with just y in there. And multiply it. Okay. I'm not going to have 7 factors that are the same multiplied to each other to give me 8. So that 8 is going to have to stay in there. And I don't have 7 y's, so that's going to have to stay in there also. Okay, so now let's change this to a fractional exponent. So remember, there's an understood 1 here as the power of the radicand. So it's going to be 1 over, and remember we're kind of bringing this around down to the denominator, over 4. And then for this, we're going to have 8, 1/7. Why? Actually, you know, yeah. 5/7, okay? All right. Least common denominator, we're going to have 7, 14, 21, 28, okay? So let's see what we'll get here. Y, okay, so we'll get 7/28, 8, this will become 4/28, y will become 20/28. Now we're going to change it back into a radical. Don't forget to bring anything down that's outside of the radical. So 3x. Okay, so now remember, what is going to be my index for this radical? Remember, we just bring the index around to become the denominator. So my denominator is going to become the index, so 28, and I'm left with y to the 7th times, okay, we've got our index of 28, 8 to the 4th, y to the 20th. Now we have the same indices, so now we can multiply all of this together. I'm going to start up here. So we got 3x on the outside. I'm going to write my radical. Then we can multiply everything. So I've got y to the 7th 8 to the 4th, y to the 20th. Now we can simplify. Okay, so let me get my calculator out. 8 times 8. Okay, so 8 times itself 4 times is 4,096. And I have got 27 y's because I got 2 y's here. Remember, when your bases are being multiplied to each other, you add the exponent. So y to the 27th, don't forget your index. I only have 27 y's, not 28, so I can't take those out. And 4,096, I'll just let you know, that is as simple as it gets. That's your answer.